Hi, I'm Jay Richardson with Registered Real Estate Advisors in Spring, Texas. If you're contemplating a move to the Spring Klein area, I'd like to introduce you to a very special neighborhood park and club, specifically the Forest Oaks Park and the Forest Oaks Swim and Racket Club, amenities that I believe are second to none. The park and club are professionally managed by an on-site, full-time, friendly, and dedicated staff. They were built and are maintained by the Harris County Water Control and Improvement District Number 110, also known as WCID Number 110. These are private facilities intended for use by the 1,800 residents of the neighborhoods it serves. Forest Oaks takes its name from the last names of the two original subdivisions, Cypress Forest and Enchanted Oaks. Several more subdivisions have since been developed that have park eligibility. These subdivisions include Cypress Forest Lakes and Lakes of Cypress Forest. These are two subdivisions that are still under construction, and you can even get a backyard view of this park in Cypress Forest Lakes. Let's begin with Forest Oaks Park. The 34-acre park originally opened in 2008. Here you can get back to nature on one of the 3 trails winding through the park and around the lakes. Popular with walkers, runners, and cyclists, the trails are measured so you can track your distance. As you walk through the park, you begin to notice the attention to detail that was taken to make the park unique. Visual features such as footbridges, fountains, waterfalls, and even a slough dot the park. Depending on your luck, you may see some of the indigenous wildlife, including among others, deer, rabbits, the ubiquitous armadillo, or even a bald eagle. The 3 stock fishing lakes are carefully managed by the staff to ensure a healthy balance of fish. Try your luck at catching crappie, brim, bass, and catfish. The catch and release policy means more fun for everyone. Fish from the banks or the fishing dock, or bring your own watercraft. Kayaks, canoes, and rowboats are welcome on the big lake. For picnics or parties, covered pavilions and open picnic tables are available. All have a charcoal grill next to them, and they can be reserved for private parties.
Where our backyards meet the backwoods,
Hi, Blossom.
some familiar figures have long made themselves at home.
We as humans have created pretty much the perfect habitat for deer.
White-tailed deer find the suburbs a safety zone. But how well do we know these backyard buddies?
Sometimes they'll freeze and lock up for even 2, 3, 4 minutes.
It's time to take a closer look at the private life of one of our closest neighbors.
When filming, I'll see them stomp. They'll do that to get the attention of other deer, to alert them that something might be dangerous.
New perspectives reveal a complex society.
We saw a lot of antagonistic kind of behavior that we might have expected between males during the breeding season, but we also saw that kind of interaction among females as well.
And a rare vision that roams North American woods.
It stood for 5 seconds maybe, eyed me, and took off and was gone.
My name's Kerry Russell. I have a master's degree in landscape ecology. So I'm standing now next to a pine tree whose common name is loblolly pine, and the scientific name is Pinus tita. The way that you can identify this tree is, first of all, by looking at the needles. Pine trees' leaves are called needles, and they will come in fascicles, which means bunches. And the loblolly pine tree, 99% of the time, will have needles that come in fascicles of 3, and they're going to be about the length of the average hand. So that's about perhaps 5 to 6 inches, loblolly. Also, looking around on the ground, here's a pine cone over here. I'm going to walk away for a second. For the most part, the average size of a loblolly pine cone is going to be about the size of a baseball. This one's actually a little bit small, and I attribute its size to the fact that these loblolly pines are growing in a much drier climate than would be their native home range, which would be further to the east, and would also have, you know, at least 10 to 15 additional inches of rain a year, which is considerable. But this is also probably the single most important commercial species of pine tree in East Texas, which is that's an important part of the local economy, and I think probably even in North America now. This is a lot of.
It's Marlo from Wild Food UK, out foraging again, surprisingly enough, and we've been walking around this nice field here looking for some mushrooms. Alfie's been helping us, as you can hear in the background, and here you can see something that we saw from quite a long way away, which is this sort of stripe of darker green grass, starting there and coming along here. And in it, we've got some lovely young white mushrooms just down here. Now, these are too small for me to show you anything useful from them. There are some other bits that have been got by the mower around here, but continuing the stripe, over here, just down here, we've got a much larger specimen. Now, I'm really pleased we found this because I've been getting a lot of emails about this type of mushroom recently. Not sure at the moment which type of mushroom it is, but I can say pretty much for certain that it's in the agaric family. Now, the agaric family is the family that all of your button mushrooms and portobello mushrooms and chestnut mushrooms that you buy in the shops come from. These are the wild ancestors of those cultivated mushrooms. Yeah, what we've got here are the usual characteristics of the agaric family. We're in a field, so grassland, they grow in association with grass. We've got a nice white cap. At the moment, we're just getting towards the end of May. Agarics in their different forms start to come out in early spring, and they will go right the way through the year. There's lots of different types though. And now, pardon me, show you how to A, identify that you've got an agaric, and B, although this one's a bit maggoty, help you identify whether they're edible or not. So, right, okay, the smell of this one is good. First of all, this one's not come away from the cap, from the stem yet. The cap is still attached to the stem with this veil. When the cap opens and the mushroom grows and matures, the veil will get left attached to the stem of the mushroom, and it will look like a bit of a skirt. The prince, which is a member of this family, has a very long skirt. This one, which I now believe to be a horse mushroom based on the smell, has a reasonable sized skirt. You can see that's going to be left about 1 centimetre or so hanging down on the stem. If I cut through it, this is a young specimen, although it has been rather maggot eaten. You can see here it's a gilled mushroom. Got some sort of fly in there, and the gills are pink. As this mushroom matures, the gills will change from pink to brown to really dark brown, almost blackish when it's really dry and mature. So those few things tell me this is an agaric. It doesn't come from a sac at the base. I didn't show you that, but I should really. If we look at the base of the mushroom, where I've just pulled it out of the ground, there's no veil or sac around the base of the mushroom, and that's important whenever you're out mushroom picking, because mushrooms with a egg sac at the base of the stem are often in the Amanita family, which contains many of the most deadly poisonous mushrooms in the country. This we've identified as an agaric. It's got pinkish gills, which are going to darken. It's got white flesh, a white cap, a white stem with a skirt, and can't really see it on this one, but they often have what's called a cogwheel around the skirt when it's still attached and the mushroom's a bit more open. So that's let me know that I've got an agaric. Then there are a few agarics that you really don't want. There's the yellow stainer. Now if I bruise this mushroom ever so slightly, it will go slightly yellow. The yellow stainer, if I bruised it like that with a knife, would go bright yellow pretty quickly. So would the Agaricus pilatianus. The pilatianus would go yellower at the stem, towards the base of the stem in particular. And the inky agaric, which is another one that you don't want to eat, that one will go yellow pretty quickly as well. The real thing though, with those three mushrooms, which are the ones that you really don't want to eat in the agaric family, is the smell. I had a sniff of this one earlier, and I've got a lovely, almost quite strong smell of aniseed, which tells me that this is a horse mushroom. It's a bit out of season, but yeah, the smell is a key giveaway. The field mushrooms that you get that look a lot like this have a slight smell of aniseed, mainly sort of mushroomy. There's lots of others in the family that will smell mushroomy through to sort of faintly of almonds, but all fairly edible, fairly pleasant. The three that I mentioned that you don't want to eat, the yellow stainer, the pilatianus and the inky agaric, they don't smell good. The yellow stainer smells a bit inky, a bit sort of chemically. The pilatianus and the inky agaric both smell just not very nice chemically. Caustic is described as in some books, just not edible, whereas the smell of aniseed from this mushroom is really quite appealing. The smell of mushrooms that you get from field mushrooms is recognisable from the mushrooms you get in the shops because they're in the same family. And the faint smell of almonds that you get from a prince still smells very edible. I personally think that the prince smells a little bit of aniseed as well, but they all look pretty similar to this. Watch out for yellow staining, and watch out, well, have a smell and make sure it smells edible, and then you can pick from the agaric family safely. If you want to find out more, go to www.wildfooduk.
Tropical moisture is going to begin to stream back into southeast Texas, and that's going to mean a good chance of rain here a little bit later on. We're going to continue to watch that moisture continue to build. Starting to see evidence of that on the latest satellite imagery. A lot of cloud cover showing up across old Mexico, and that's going to be streaming in over the next days. We're going to see that rain chance start to break out in West Texas here through the morning and continue to spread eastward throughout the day today. And we're going to see that shower activity continue to be a good bet here. Looks like the best chances of rain today will be across West Texas through the Permian Basin and working on down into far western Texas as we head into the afternoon hours today. Tonight, the rain gets a little bit closer. Looks like some showers and storms in Dallas and San Antonio, and better rain chances for us tomorrow. Some of the rain could be heavy as we make our way toward midweek. The forecast, it tells the story. Temperatures in the the upper 70s and low 80s for highs here over the next couple of days with good chances of rain. Thunderstorms likely on Wednesday, and then we dry things out and bring some cooler temperatures in Thursday and Friday.
Hi there, Houston. Weather Channel meteorologist Mark Thibodeau. Well, we got some changes on the way as we head through the next 24 hours. High-level moisture moving in across Mexico and into much of South Texas already. Leftover moisture of Hurricane Vance is advancing up from the south and west to the north and east, and that is going to be cranking up our rain chances around here during the next couple of days. In fact, if you're headed out to the polls, I would take the umbrella. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be a good possibility as we head through this Election Day Tuesday. And we could be looking at the potential for some heavy rainfall. An inch or two of rain looks possible, fairly uniformly so, especially by tonight and early Wednesday. Could it fall all at once? There could be some locally higher amounts as well. So 1 to 2 inches of rain Tuesday afternoon into early Wednesday, locally higher amounts as that tropical air continues to move in from the southwest. So it looks stormy around here into early Wednesday, and then a beautiful weather pattern setting up shop Thursday all the way into the weekend. Highs in the upper 60s, below 70s. Dry weather expected once the leftovers are going to go.
Lots of tropical moisture going to continue to work into parts of southeast Texas here throughout the day today as we continue to keep our eyes on this big fetch of moisture coming up out of old Mexico into South Texas. Widespread rains a good bet here throughout the day today with those temperatures well into the 70s, and it's going to be a wet drive on 45 as well as I-10. If you're making your way across southeast Texas today, working on the sections of Louisiana, wet weather in the forecast for you as well as all this moisture continues. More of this as we head into the nighttime hours tonight with showers likely. Our temperatures down to 62 and more rain expected tomorrow, but I think the bulk of the rains are going to start to taper off here. Just some scattered showers on Thursday. Thursday's high approaching 70. The rest of the week not looking too bad. In fact, we're going to see those temperatures warming back into the low and mid 70s over the weekend with a fair amount of sunshine. Overnight lows in the 40s and 50s. Looks like our next opportunity to see some showers late Monday night into Tuesday with another disturbance that'll be moving in. Overall, fine weather for the region.